direction his forces should take, the deeper they penetrated into the Soviet Union. And the more he wavered, the more his experienced generals lost faith. General Halder, for example, who was in charge at the OKH, was growing more worried about what he was hearing. The mood of the German commanders swung constantly. General Halder wrote in his diary in July that at the outset of the war we reckoned on about 200 enemy divisions. Now we have already encountered 360. And even that is an underestimate. By mid-July, with Army Group Center halted outside Smolensk, the Wehrmacht had lost momentum. It was not strong enough to mount defenses on all three fronts simultaneously, north, center, and the south. Inside the Great Sea, more than 20 Soviet divisions were about to be installed. Back in Moscow, Stalin was beginning to pay for his decision to promote lackeys like Shaposhnikov, Voroshilov, and Budanin to the highest ranks. That was obvious when Shaposhnikov had a nervous breakdown and crew went down during the first week of the invasion. Luckily, General Sukhov had been dispatched to monitor the situation in the center of the Western Line and reported back to Stalin that it was absolutely incomprehensible what Pavlov and his generals were up to. Eventually, the Soviet army's ambulance were surrounded, and Pavlov had no idea that the catastrophe had overwhelmed his men. Stalin first heard about the encirclement from German radio, and on June 30th, 5 days after they'd been trapped, he then telephoned Pavlov and asked if it was true. The general muttered it was me. He had no idea about the situation. Stalin was beside himself with rage. Pavlov's carelessness was his death certificate. Stalin ordered Pavlov and his chief of staff, Klimovsky, and some of his principal advisors to return to Moscow that day. They were arrested upon arrival, tried, and eventually shot. Pavlov had held his command for a grand total of 6 days before he was dragged back to Moscow. In the center, Hitler had succeeded in his maintaining position of the Germans. In the Baltic and to the south of Ukraine, the plans to move the Soviet army against the sea was single and a big move had failed. We have a Toyota Camry. This is the one with the 4-cylinder. You can see it's an inline 4. That's the exhaust right there. Exhaust manifold. We can see the catalytic converter is right there. The car has an oil leak, but from the top it looks pretty clean. We can see a little bit of oil residue somewhere around the valve cover. You can see the valve cover is leaking a little bit. Leaking a little bit right there. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Slight leakage right there, but it's not as bad as I thought. So the car is pretty clean from the top, as you can see. Looks like a newer Barry Napa. I always assume Napa makes good stuff.
That's probably an original. That's probably the original starter. It's amazing what Japanese manufacturing is all about. It looks like the oxygen sensor has been replaced. So it's pretty clean overall. New radiator. It's a new radiator right there. It's a new radiator right there. They changed the top mount of the engine. These ones, they go out very quickly. These mounts go out very quickly. I've replaced one before, and then the engine rocks back and forth. Alright, so the car is in decent shape. It's a pretty decent looking car. 276,000 miles on it. You can see the usually dings and whatever. What's the manufacturer? The manufacturer date is it's a 2004. You can tell the date right there, 05, 04. Okay, that's, yeah, pretty nice looking, decent looking Camry. Silver, 2004 Camry. The back is not too bad. It's a Camry LE. So I got it up in the air. Tires are pretty decent, not too bad. You got a gouge right there. It's a pretty decent gouge right there. Not too bad, not too bad. I think this, I got the jack stands up there. You can see you got a rocker panel that's kind of moving a little bit. I think the jack is sitting on it a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna check front tires. Front tires are not bad. It's missing a side cut right there. That's missing a not a side cut. It's missing an inner well fender. It's missing. That's not too bad. Alright, so we're gonna check for the leak underneath. So we have a leak underneath, and we're gonna take a look at that. Serpentine belt looks alright. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, let's get underneath and check for the leak. The front is pretty decent. You can see the lights. They need to be cleaned up a little bit to clear up the lights. So let's check underneath and see what the issue is. So we're underneath the vehicle right now, and you can see me pull the camera back. That's a new clamp. The radiator had been replaced. So we're talking about a leak, and we already can see an issue right there. Actually, I expected it to be even a worse leak than it is. So I thought it actually was the rear, I thought it was the seal, the engine, the rear main seal leaking, but it looks pretty clean. So the only leak we have is at the oil plug right there. I don't know whether it's stripped. You can see the oil pan, I think has been dented. So that's the oil pan right there. Let me pull back the camera. You got the oil filter right here. That's the oil pan right there. It looks like there's a dent. It's been hit. Been hit right there. So yeah, so we do have a leak right there. We can see the way it's leaking from. Looks like it's leaking from the oil plug. I was very surprised. I was expecting worse. You can see the drive axles. I was expecting worse. I thought this thing would have leaks all over the place, but no leaks. I'm gonna check the oil pan. Look at the transmission. Let me pull back this camera a little bit. The transmission is dry. Where the rear main seal is very dry. Everything is dry, so only that. Alright, so let's set ourselves up and see what the issue is. So pretty simple fix. Like I said, I'm surprised. I thought it was gonna be, man, I'm over here, I'm making myself super dirty. I should have lifted this car up a little bit higher. So pretty simple fix. The oil plug was loose, leaking. I thought it was like a cut. I thought maybe the oil pan was damaged. Either they had a cut inside. It was a simple leak. Oil plug was loose. The customer was thinking that actually was a major leak. Even me, I thought it was a major leak. I was expecting a rear main seal. Like I said, the vehicle is very clean. This is a 2004. It's very clean underneath. Very clean underneath. Really no leaks. You can see very clean underneath. The leak was coming from the oil plug. Somebody didn't tighten it up, and that was the leak was coming from. You can see there's some damage to this bracket right there. It's been hit. Yeah, that's what happens with this kind of vehicles. You can see the damage to that bracket. You can see it's been hit from the bottom. Yeah, these things, people with the curb and everything, but they have a nice beefy. The cradle is nice and beefy, so that will probably protect the engine a little bit. Yeah, so that was it. Pretty quick fix. I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that. I thought it was gonna be much worse. I thought it was like, like I said, I was expecting a rear main seal. I was expecting an oil pan that's fully coated in oil. I was expecting a transmission pan that's leaking. And no, that was it. That was just the oil plug right there. It was loose. And yeah, it's probably just took it to an oil change. And I don't know, you can tell by the filter, I don't know where one of these Jiffy Lube places, and somebody just in a rush. That happens all the time. I've changed oil for many years, and I worked with a lot of people where that was people in a constant rush to get the vehicles. Yeah, you gotta realize it's not a competition. You know, I remember the guys, some of the new guys in the lube bay, they get excited. They want to be the first one to get the vehicle out. It's not a competition. Take your time, do it right. It's no competition. I mean, the vehicles are still gonna be there. I mean, I can imagine some of them get paid commission. Yeah, so it's you're in a rush to get it done, but take your time. There ain't no rush. I mean, those are those things you learn with age. You learn with age that, man, these vehicles are not gonna stop. It's not a competition. I used to be the same way. I used to be super enthusiastic, trying to rock it out. Nah, these days just set your own pace, do a good job. Yeah, so that was loose. Customer is happy. That's it. I was expecting, like I said, customer was even looking at this vehicle saying maybe they can sell it due to the oil change, because this vehicle has 275,000 miles. But no, that was it. All right, cheerio, take care. That's another repair done. On to the next one. All right, later.